Hello, and welcome to my final video on assessing the health of your farm. In this video, we're going to be talking about assessing the profitability of your farm in two ways, both financially and operationally. If you remember the first two videos, we talked about assessing the health of your farm using two different metrics, capital structure and liquidity. In this video, we're going to be concentrating on profitability. So let's take a look how to assess the health of your farm. Financial profitability is about looking at your farm and seeing if it is making a good return on your investment. One of my favorite ratios to use is cash flow divided by assets. I like to use cash flow because it takes away a lot of variability that can come from using net income. To calculate cash flow, you take net income and add back taxes, amortization, and interest expense. Another name for this is EBITDA. To assess the profitability of your farm, you take EBITDA and divide it by total assets. Ideally, assets would be marked to market value to provide an accurate basis to compare rates of return between different farms and investments. What is a good rate of return for agriculture? Well, it depends. Profitability in industries that require significant capital, like land, will have a lower expected rate of return than industries with lower capital requirements. There are many reasons for this, but mainly it is because a farm's return is made up of two components, farming and land appreciation. An investor in a farm will always factor in both of these over the long term. While many industries will have expected rates of return over 10%, farming will be lower than this. In my experience, a range of 3% to 8% is quite normal when all farming assets are marked to market value. It is important to assess your farm's profitability over the long term by analyzing its trend and discussing with your advisor where your rate of return has been and is expected to be. Another way to look at profitability is by using its operational data. The main factor to use is the number of farmable acres. Using farming acres and dividing by the farm's revenue and expenses, you can arrive at insights that can help you make better decisions for your farm. For example, total revenue divided by acres can show the effectiveness of your marketing plan or how the mix of your crops impacts your total sales. Expenses can also be grouped in comparable buckets. The first bucket is production expenses like fertilizer, chemicals, seed, and crop insurance. The second bucket is labor, power, and machinery, which are variable based on the amount of acres that are farmed. Finally, the third bucket is land, buildings, and finance, which are variable based on how the farm is capitalized. By grouping expenses that are similar, we can calculate per acre averages that can be used to compare against your own history, your budgets, and benchmarks. These averages can show areas of strength and weakness in your farm, as well as help to calculate your cost of production. It is very important to track your profitability over time, watch for trends, and discuss with your advisor how to manage your future profitability. Assessing the financial health of your farm is extremely important to ensure its long-term success, both for you and for the long-term viability of your farm into future generations. Make sure you are familiar with all the ways to evaluate your financial health and work with your advisors to address weaknesses so that you will have the ability to capitalize on future growth opportunities. Thanks for your interest in my videos, and watch for more updates in the near future.